Good morning.
Sound of our teen sports listeners, I'm your host, Erica, the queen of teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. Hey, Teen Sports Radio family. Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. I'm Erica, the queen of teen. Today's topic is your gut. Oh, yeah, baby. Not the six-pack, okay? Not the six-pack. The inside gut, okay? That mysterious world inside that it's doing so much. More science has come out about it. It's more than digesting your lunch. Okay. Your gut is a second brain, sending messages, shaping your mood, even powering your performance on and off the field. It's so important. So today we're going to be talking about probiotics, sourdough, fresh herbs, GutKarma. That's Dominique. How do we get karma into this? Okay. Well, that's what we do here. A little bit on the outer edge, as they say. We're going to talk about your food choices, the whole system in flow. So because your gut is happy, you are unstoppable. So stay tuned. In the house today, we are going to be with Richard Ellsworth, Don Sanders. We've got Namita. She's going to be starting off the show. Dominique Hackett. And, of course, Alex Ramirez, Fit for Life 805. How you doing, Alex?
Good morning. Doing very well. A lot better now, getting over the COVID.
Yeah, getting over the COVID. Well, we got to talk about the gut health. What have you been doing to help yourself?
Rest is key. And surprisingly, what's been hard for me is the hydration. I just haven't been thirsty, and I've been just laid up in bed trying to hydrate. It's like it's a battle. I have to force myself to drink water. But tea, I've been doing a lot of herbal tea. That's been very helpful. I've been doing eucalyptus oil because I've been congested. Hot baths, very easy. Walking, and just, a lot of rest. We're taking a lot of breaks. It kind of...
Yeah, my neighbor has been feeling horrible for over 3 weeks. So, yeah. There's a lot of hacks that are out there. I don't want to, recommend something, but these hacks are being put in books and stuff. So I would do your own diligence for anybody who's had it maybe longer than 2 or 3 weeks and find out what they're doing,
Consult your healthcare provider. But there's some interesting studies about what's going on with our mitochondria. And that is the powerhouse for the cells. So we like to do hacks with amino acids, using various proteins and stuff to make sure that the body has the building blocks that it needs. But man, oh man, your electrolytes, that's really powerful. And just good old fashioned sleep. Teens don't understand how important sleep is.
Yeah. No, I tell you, the whole show, okay, every segment of the show has to do with gut health. And we did this, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And it's something that I'm like, we have to talk about it. And your mom made all this kimchi. And she made all this fermented vegetables.
She's on a fermented kimchi.
Well, I actually, have this protocol that I have had to be on. And it was the cutest thing that she just gets on this big fermentation thing.
And that's your protocol.
It fits my protocol. I'm on the protocol. Okay. I don't call it a diet. I call it the protocol.
She's on an anti-inflammatory protocol.
Nice.
So your body just shifts, and it doesn't matter. It's funny because you could be 15 or you could be 55, I definitely want to start thinking about fitness, okay, because I've been feeling off, okay, for a while now, and you just got to keep motoring through, right? And I know kids feel the same way.
They get
kids,
sluggish.
right? And my youngest, John is like, I'm 200, okay, 6 foot, he's 200. He goes, I'm getting fat. Because, he's got a full-time job where he's working 12 hours a day, right? And he goes, I just got to get started. I said, look, you've got every little toy where you're living. Jump on it. Do 15 minutes. Oh, my God, this is not even, the pentathlon. What do you call those expensive little things? So, so if I send him the section, what would you say to get my son John geared up? Come on, I need the ghost of the Christmas past. What are you going to say to him?
Get off your butt and walk.
Woo! Get off your butt and walk. I love that.
It's so simple, so basic. You can do it anytime. It doesn't require any money, any equipment. It's free. And I recommend that here's the thing is if you can do it 5 to 10 minutes after you eat a meal. It'll just kind of help you out, help with the glucose impact.
Right.
And it'll set you in the right mood. It's perfect. It gets you away from work, gives you a mental break, gives you a little bit of an energy boost. But very good for fat loss and getting moving.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just really, if you can total up all those minutes that equal an hour a day, I think obesity in this country, which is like over 50%, I think that would cut it down in half. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. For sure. People don't walk enough. They don't walk enough at all. No. Our ancestors walking all the time, and now we don't do it anymore. Everything's given and delivered to us.
Yes. Well, listen, hold on. We got Namita. She's in the house. She's up next. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, Erica. Good to be in the show again. Well, my name is Namita, as Erica has introduced me on various occasions, and I'm the owner of Namita's Cuisine. And today I'm delighted that we will be talking about my favorite topic. You said you wanted to talk about wellness of the gut, right, Erica?
All day. That's what we got to do. Today is the day. I'm actually on a little bit of a cleanse myself. Richard's got me all mapped out for the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, this is feeling pretty good. I've noticed it after 3 or 4 days. So let's talk about it.
Very interesting. I mean, I noticed that anytime I go to YouTube, most of the ads are about, it seems to be a pooping, like a trend. They talk about all these different ads on if you're pooping kernels, and it's all about cleaning the belly. What people don't realize is the pooping aspect comes when things are really backed up, starting from the stomach, the digestive system. That's really the root of most dis-ease, according to Ayurveda, which I like to practice in my cooking. Ayurveda is very conducive towards a healthy gut in a caring, gentle, and non-invasive way. And how we do this is really by integrating a lot of community resources too, which is wonderful. So by using seasonal vegetables, Mother Nature knows exactly what our body needs according to the temperature that surrounds us. Using as much seasonal, cooking slow temperature, slow food cooking rather than getting everything done in a hurry. And then, of course, using medicinal spices that not only add flavor to your food and more excitement, but also at the same time is working on healing our digestive system, which then supports the rest of the organs in our body. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I know out of all the foods that are out there, I would put Indian food because of all the spices you infuse your food with. It was probably one of the most potent, most healthiest foods that you could eat. So which spices would you recommend?
Well, I can say that the vegan community is very, very fortunate to have been able to daily integrate a lot of the Indian cuisine, mainly because of the flavors. But let's talk about the spices too, that fulfill a lot of the benefits that we search for in protein or meat products, which is quite surprising in the sense of how much more it can give if we look at it closely. So a curry. Most people think curry is just to go to the store and get curry powder and then add some salt, and we've made our curry. That is not the way you make curry or the way that you reap the benefits of the spices. The spices are medicinal, which is why, I don't know, Marco Polo, Christopher Columbus, all these great seekers of foreign countries were really looking for the medicine cabinet of teas and spices during those times. So what makes a curry? A curry really it consists of a combination of the following spices. We have turmeric, we have ground coriander, ground cumin, black mustard seeds, cumin seeds, asafoetida, And then, of course, we have salt and some kind of a lubricant or a carrier, such as grapeseed oil, which I use, safflower oil, or, of course, ghee, which is saturated butter. Now, I'm giving you a lot here of a mouthful, but that, my friend, is how you make a curry. And then there is an order in how you put the spices. If you really want to reap the maximum benefits of these spices in the medicinal way, which means it acts as an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. It provides a lot of the calcium, the phosphates. I mean, there are so many benefits that I could go on. In fact, I'm writing a book as we speak on the alchemy of the spices, where they talk and they tell you their knowledge. So if we come now, the art of Ayurvedic cuisine to mainly heal the gut is that the spices have to interplay together. By isolating the spices, you're not getting the best form of its benefits, such as, people now are into the turmeric trend. I love how we get into these trends and then overkill the product that has come out to teach us by overusing it in a non-mindful way. If you're taking a turmeric pill, which is fine, it's not going to it's not going to have contraindications. I'm sure you're going to have some benefits from it, but it won't be as happy as when it plays with the rest of the spices together, when it gets a form of heat and it gets ingredients to cling on to so that your body can enjoy the whole process. Mm-hmm. So it is an art to heal the gut. To torture it is not the way by going on strong diets, because it already is taxed. You have to gently wake up your digestive system and feed it the nutrients where your cells will feel that it's absorbing it. You will notice it. And of course, the bowel movements, you don't need all those ads. Just eat a good dal, a good curry, and you'll notice how you won't poop pineapple kernels or whatever they call those.
Can I ask a quick question? We're
yes.
past the summer solstice, so we're into our summertime.
Yes.
And in India, when it's hot, you're served tea. Can you explain why it is that you're served hot tea in hot weather?
Of course, yes. As you know, chai is a very well drank tea in India. In fact, if you say no, you might highly offend the person. So by the end of the day, you might have had 6 or 7 little cups of chais. The reason for this is that, especially when you put, warming spices such as ginger and cloves, and cardamom is a bit of a cooling. The mixture is designed so our body also produces the heat that matches the external temperature. And so there is a balance that automatically happens in our system. Yeah. So it's the same as in cold countries like Norway and all the Nordic countries. There's a lot of cold cuts that people will eat. Hotter countries will eat, spicier food like in Mexico. So yes, there is an intelligence again happening. I mean, again, in Ayurveda, everything really the basics of it comes down to heating foods or cooling foods, because we're working with our body temperature that really is like our furnace that allows our digestive system. So summer right now, this is the time you can eat really good cooling foods like, cold soup such as gazpacho, now that we have a lot of red tomatoes happening everywhere. Cooling salads. This is probably not, yes, the curries will make you sweat and everything, but it's a good time in the summer to bring some of the colder foods into our belly, cucumbers, so forth. Fennel, rampant right now. Mm-hmm.
If you wanted
exciting.
If you wanted to do we've done this before. We've gone back for, a dozen or so years. And I've known before that you would do for a month or 2 weeks. You can correct me, where you would focus on the gut, and then you would be doing certain foods, and it's a part of a plan that you've actually created. Can you talk about that?
Yes, we've worked closely with the Bikram Yoga Studio when it used to be in Santa Barbara, as well as other wellness centers where they're getting other kinds of supports, whether it's massage therapy or acupuncture, and we're mainly focusing on the gut through the food. Sometimes we were encouraging enemas, of course, with special Ayurvedic consultants or other wellness consultants involved. I focus on the food part that I contribute. They do the more medical technicalities. So together, people noticed fantastic results because we would look at each body separately. It's hard to, it's like saying I'm a Sagittarius, so everybody who's Sagittarius is going to get the same result this month, right, Dominique? That doesn't work. The same thing with the body. When it's looked closely and respected closely and see the needs, then we can design not just, an Ayurvedic meal that will support you, but also the meal that will allow them to digest the foods that agree with them, the spices that agree with them, so that the body is responding in a more efficient way. And then basically we're just rebooting the digestive system so that then they can slowly start bringing in a more balanced diet that is easier to digest and it's not backed up. So yes.
When we get, that's beautiful. Great stuff, Namita. The next segment, we're going to have Richard. Maybe you guys can collaborate, I don't know, on a project in the future, but I know I have a lot of kids coming off of these energy drinks because kids tell me, I know even young adults are hooked on those energy drinks. And when I say hooked on, I mean, they are addictive with that. And that stuff isn't even really being talked about, the addictive properties of these energy drinks. So anybody, or athletes, this is really important information. I did take 2 of them just to show my oldest son because he walked in with one. So I put 2 of them. I took a piece of rusty something from the garage and I threw it in a bucket with 2 energy drinks and I pulled it out. I said, see that? That's your intestines. Good job.
Right. But unfortunately, our culture has been acculturated to all these energy drinks for quite a while. They're quick. They're easily accessible, even in gas stations. There's more choices of energy drinks, unfortunately, than even water when you go to these gas stations. It's cheap. And even though I think they taste horrible, our youth has gotten used to an acquired taste of sorts. Now, it's really, I think our job is to offer a choice that is equally as economical, that tastes even better, and that is accessible. For example, look, BD, our farmer in Ojai, who specializes in really good medicinal herbs of all sorts, he brought me some holy basil that has been growing right now. Krishna, actually, they've got these beautiful purple buds on them. And I have been making iced teas with them, very easy. All you do is put a boiling pot of water. Once it's boiled, you just add all these leaves and then strain them and put them in the fridge. And you mix in, a couple of boosters for energy that are natural, like a little bit of maple syrup, and you just refrigerate it and chug this along all day long. You feel not only energized, but clear-headed, lighter. You're getting other side benefits. It's reteaching an economic, easy way for our kids to do it. That's what the energy drinks, that's why they're working.
Nice. Good chatter. Good chatter. Namita, how do we get a hold of you if we want an Ayurvedic week of food, including
gosh, feel free to call me. We're always cooking something new because I love seeing what the farmer brings us. This week, I've actually been experimenting with blackberry pies because I'm trying to integrate my American in me. But I still need some help, so I might get some tips from the crust, Dominique, at some point. Anyway, you can get a hold of me by visiting the website, namitascuisine.com, or call me 805-259-6594.
Great. Namita's Cuisine, I'm a big fan, and I appreciate, especially if you're going through a really bad time right now, either energetically or you're going through some illness issues, give Namita a call, and she has done this for me many a times for my family and friends, and we love you, Namita. Let's take a little break.
Thank you, Namita.
Richard Ellsworth.
Thank you.
Stick around, Namita. We've got Richard Ellsworth after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, everyone. This is Richard Ellsworth, and we're going to be talking about gut health in addition to energy drinks today. Gut health is one of my absolute favorite topics because it really is the second brain and the foundation for most health issues, if not all. Some scientists these days will argue all issues. And the gut can be a really challenging thing to deal with, and there are a lot of different theories about how to approach it. I'm a very strong believer that everything in the body can be healed through diet, nutrition, food, that sort of thing. But I acknowledge that in Western society, we've become a little bit more used to quick fixes. And that's where nutritional supplements can come in handy, ones that really aren't going to throw us completely off balance. And the thing is that there are a lot of things these days that can throw us off balance. Were you breastfed or were you formula fed? Did you have something that you were given antibiotics for? All of these things that can disturb the gut microbiome are really important things to consider. And if you've been having digestive challenges, it might be worth taking probiotics. And again, these are not substitutes for eating a good, strong, healthy diet. They're additions. They're sort of things that can laser target whatever the issue is that you're currently experiencing and can accelerate the healing process. So sometimes you might take herbs that will knock off some of the bad bacteria. Sometimes you can take the probiotics that will go in there, and it's like a bunch of little microorganisms that are then out competing the bacteria, and there's like a little battle going on. And at first, I'll put people on these supplements, whether they're probiotics or herbs that can kill stuff off, and they'll often complain that their stomach hurts more than it did before. And the fact is that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to go through that because there's literally a battle going on inside your stomach, and there's no way that's not going to be painful. There's no way that you aren't going to have some sort of disturbance from that. And maybe you won't feel anything in your stomach. Maybe it's just a matter of maybe it comes out as diarrhea or something like that. So incorporating energy drinks into this, energy drinks are also something that is significantly going to disturb your gut balance. So not only is there a lot of sugar, which is going to feed the bad bacteria, but there's also caffeine. Now, caffeine makes everything move a little bit quicker, and caffeine can be really, really helpful, but not in conjunction with sugar. When caffeine is working with sugar, everything is moving at a very, very quick rate, and the blood is moving through your body to such an extent that your adrenals and your kidneys end up working extra hard, and you can end up having issues like anxiety. You can have significant fear responses. I knew someone who, you could literally drop a paperclip on the ground and he jumped 5 feet in the air. And that's a pretty strong indication that your kidneys or your adrenals are a little bit out of balance, and maybe they need a little bit of help, a little bit of support. And again, most of this can be done through diet. If you eat a lot of garlic and onions in your diet, that's going to go in there and that's going to knock out a lot of the bad bacteria. If you want to start incorporating good bacteria, you eat a lot of different colors, a lot of colorful fruits and vegetables. If you have some sort of issue where you need to work on really supporting your kidney health and your adrenals because you're having a fear response, or maybe you're not drinking enough water, there's too much caffeine in your system, you can start by drinking enough water. For starters, alkaline water is one of the best sources, but also your blue and black foods are going to really support your kidney health. So again, taking into account all of these different things to really stabilize your gut, come back into balance, avoiding those sugary energy drinks are all of things that are going to skyrocket you towards optimal health.
Nice. Ooh. Namita.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, Richard. I think it's fabulous. While you were saying the garlic and onion, a question popped in my mind, Richard. I actually have been given a lot of this black garlic, they call it, and it looks dried.
Yeah.
Do you use it for medicinal purposes? I don't know what to do with it. I don't even know how to use it in my cooking. I guess I can Google it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can completely use it medicinally if you want, but it also has a very unique flavor. It's a little bit stronger and it's a little more earthy and kind of nutty. So it's a really good thing to add those cloves to. You can add them to curries, would be really excellent. Would go really nicely in a dal. You sort of bring out different flavors. It's kind of a flavor enhancer because you sort of add a different dimension to the flavor, a different side to it. So you get that kind of smokiness, that nuttiness, kind of that earthy umami type flavor. It can really help to round things out a little bit. But again, it is still garlic, so it will still go in there and kill a bunch of bad stuff off. You want to use it medicinally for sure.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to finally crack into that bottle that they gave me at a festival, actually, before the pandemic. So I'm excited.
I think we should all, swallow a clove daily and see how that helps with COVID. How's that? How's that?
I couldn't agree more.
There you go. All right, fantastic. Hey, let's take another little break. We got one more section left. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more with Don Sanders coming up after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey there, Teen Sports Radio family. It's Dominique Hackett with Santa Barbara Wellness Center, and today we're diving deep, literally, into your gut. Yep. That mysterious place between your ribs and your hips that's way more powerful than you probably ever realized. Now, before you think it's going to be one of those eat your veggies lectures, relax. We're not going to do guilt today. We're going to dive into karma. You know karma. What goes around comes around. And guess what? That's also how your gut-brain connection works. What you send down that hatch, what you feed your body, comes back up as your mood, as your focus, as your motivation, even your ability to handle stress. In other words, your stomach, teens, is basically your second brain. Let's call it your karma gut, because what you put in there, oh yeah, it comes back. All right, so the gut-brain connection, your real superpower. Science has officially proven what grandmas and moms and monks have known for centuries. Your gut and your brain are in constant conversation. It's called the gut-brain axis, and it's like on 24/7. There's a text thread between your belly and your mind, always going on. And when your gut bacteria are thriving, they send happy, calm, confident messages to your brain. When your gut's a mess, junk food, soda, too many energy drinks, that text thread turns toxic. And suddenly you're anxious, foggy in the mind, and your mood is all over the place and you can't focus. Sound familiar, teens? Well, here's the thing. Today, you're under major pressures, sports, grades, social media, relationships. That's a lot. And when you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, your fight or flight hormone. And if your gut isn't balanced, well, all that cortisol, it hangs around a little too long and you start feeling wired and tired, like your brain's buffered all day long. So what's the key to calm? The key to focus. The key to I've got this mindset. It's not another app. It's not another energy drink. It's simply your gut health. So your food equals your mood, and you don't need any fancy stuff. Now, let's make this real. You don't need to buy expensive supplements or order some influencer's online store. You can build a brain-boosting, gut-loving diet right from your local grocery store and farmer's market. Here's a teen-friendly, budget-approved Santa Barbara Wellness Center favorite. Fermented foods. Yes! Fermented foods equal happy gut karma. These foods are alive, like literally packed with good bacteria that balance your micro going on down there. Sauerkraut. Just grab the cabbage and the salt, put a spoonful in your burger, taco, or salad. If you haven't had a little bit of sauerkraut on a taco or on a burger, oh my God, it's absolutely delicious. Kimchi. Kimchi is Korean spicy fermented cabbage. It's spicy, it's crunchy, it's fun to say, and it's your gut's best friend. Kefir or yogurt. These have live action cultures. You want to buy the ones that don't have added sugar? You can add a handful of berries and a drizzle of honey. It's delicious. Pickles. Now, you want to get the pickles. You look on the label. There's no fancy words. It just says vinegar, salt, and cucumbers, right? And maybe a few spices. So they are fermented, and yeah, just read the label. Fermented foods help your gut heal. They help your brain chill. They literally talk to your nervous system, sending signals like, hey, we're good down here. No need to panic. That is food karma, baby. Just give your gut some good old fermented food, and it gives you peace of mind. How about fresh herbs as nature's therapy? You know all those little green things that your parents call garnish, and you push it off to the side of your plate? Well, hey, wrong move. Those herbs are medicines disguised as flavor bombs. Parsley. Parsley is a natural detoxifier. It cleans up your system and it keeps your brain oxygenated. So you eat your meal and then that parsley garnish, yeah, grab it and eat it. Mint. Mint calms your stomach and refreshes your mind. It's perfect for post-practice recovery. And basil, it boosts focus, fights inflammation, and yes, it helps with your soreness after a big game. So these herbs are cheap, easy to grow, and you can literally add them to anything. Sprinkle parsley on eggs. Drop some basil in your sandwich. Oh my God, that is so good. Throw mint in your water bottle, and boom, you're hydrating with flavor and function. Can we talk about the smell for a second? When you use those fresh herbs, your breath smells great, and you smell them, and that activates part of your brain that's linked to happiness. There's an instant aromatherapy, minus the crystals and the incense. All right, how about sourdough bread? Sourdough bread is that ancient wisdom that meets a modern teen snack. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying to go carb crazy, but if you're going to eat some bread, make it sourdough. Why? Because sourdough is fermented. Good bacteria breaks down the gluten and makes the nutrients easier to absorb. The gluten is your protein. That means that your body gets more brain fuel and less digestive drama. It's bread with good karma. Now try this. Toast a slice of sourdough, spread on a little avocado, sprinkle a little salt, maybe a mint leaf or two, and your brain and your taste buds are going to feel like they just did yoga together. Here's a gut check. How to eat with intention. This is where the mindfulness comes in. Next time you eat, pause just for a second. Look at your food and think, is this bringing me good energy? Am I about to eat chaos? So that's gut karma right there. Because every time you eat something with real life force energy, fermented, fresh, homegrown, you're literally upgrading your body's communication network. You're giving your neurons better messages to send. And yeah, when you might think that burger and fries, oh my God, yeah, we all like burger and fries.
But that makes your gut bacteria scream, SOS. Your brain hears the alarm too. I'm sorry, guys, but a lot of the burgers and fries are made with seed oils, and yeah, it's wiping out our health. So when you choose whole foods, fresh herbs, fermented snacks, you're not just feeding your stomach, you're training your brain for greatness. So here's my teen challenge to you. Stress, socials, and smart snacks. I get it. You've got practice, homework, maybe a part-time job, social life that moves faster than a TikTok scroll. Here's the challenge. Pick one gut-brain habit this week, just one. Add a fermented pickle to your lunch. Grow some basil plant on your windowsill. Switch out the white bread for sourdough. Start your day with a little yogurt and fresh mint. Every choice is a tiny act of self-care and self-respect. The more you do it, the more your gut pays you back big time, with energy, with focus, with better sleep, and that calm confidence that says, yeah, I can handle this. It's not luck. It's not magic. That's karma at work. GutKarma in action. So next time you're cramming for your finals, right before a big game, or you're dealing with some friend drama, remember this. Your gut is where your courage lies. Your gut is where your intuition whispers. Your gut, believe it or not, is where your happiness starts. You can't outthink a bad diet, but if you can outsmart stress by feeding your body brain food. Because when your gut feels safe and supported, your brain can focus, your heart can relax, and your energy rises. That's how you become unstoppable. So the quick gut-boosting snack ideas: an herb wrap, whole grain, sourdough, hummus, parsley, turkey, and cucumber. How's that? How about a mood smoothie? Kefir, frozen blueberries, mint and honey. How about fermented pickle and some cubes of cheese? Hey, that's a nice combo. And you can always put a little mint in your water. Lemon slices and mint leaves. Oh, so refreshing. All of these are simple, all affordable, and all karma friendly. So here's the takeaway. Your brain-gut connection isn't just about science. It's about self-respect. It's your body's way of saying, hey, you matter enough to feed me well. That's it for Dominique with Santa Barbara Wellness Center. You've got this.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, Don Sanders, Don's Massage in Ojai, and we've been talking about food and digestion. So I just wanted to add, sometimes people, when they're feeling dis-ease in their gut or in their abdomen, then sometimes we can apply some massage. I like to start by kind of going across from right to left, kind of like a wave, and then circling around the abdomen and up through the solar plexus and down around the other side. We go in that direction because it's the way that food travels through, the intestines, through the colon, down the descending colon and exits. And then sometimes, if it feels blocked or there's some tension, then sometimes, when we feel restricted or we feel anxious, it's like normally we'd sort of feel a pulse or our energetic presence down at the lower part of our abdomen, especially in women. They have a lower center of gravity. But sometimes as we're getting stressed, it kind of pulls up into the solar plexus. And so sometimes you can actually kind of just working with their breath, move that downward to kind of clear that out. So any of those three things starts to get an action going that helps the belly relieve itself of tension and stuff that's trapped in there, whether it was something they ate or something that they thought or something that happened to them, and the movement is good, because we tend to trap things and hold them as humans. If a little baby deer is almost hunted down by something, then the mother sequesters it for a while and just lets it shake. And it just moves. It keeps moving. We tend to sit still a lot, thinking about things. We get into our heads, but it's good to actually have that move through sometimes. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mentioned too, just for the visual perspective. I know you said right to left, but I just wanted to mention when I I did some massage school, and we did some belly massage, and they spoke really strongly about clockwise. So if you're going to rub your own belly, imagine there's a clock on your belly and go around that circle, because that's, I know that you put all the details in there, Don, but I don't know sometimes where my
as you're looking out from your body, that would be, yes, you would go clockwise.
Yeah.
You would go clockwise if you were looking at me, So I'm going down to the left and back up on my right.
Okay.
But that is clockwise.
Yeah. Thank you.
If I didn't explain that correctly, I'm sorry.
I know you explained it well. I like to explain things a couple different ways for different learners, visual learners, auditory learners,
Yeah, and you can practice some of that on yourself, if you're having trouble. You can practice some of those techniques on yourself.
And that's a wrap today for Teen Sports Radio. Remember, your gut isn't just about digestion. It's your second brain. Feed it with kindness, fiber, and maybe just a little fermented love. We did that this last week. We've got kimchi, more kimchi than I could fit in the refrigerator. So, and that's going to help you return with focus, energy, and great karma. So stay curious, stay healthy, and most of all, teens, you be you, because everybody else is taken. Big thank you to Laser Media on KZSB AM 1290 and 96.9 FM, the station that talks about Santa Barbara. And Jeremiah Ferris, lots of love to you. And Eternity Radio, they've been anchoring us for going on over 5 years in the Midwest. We love you. We thank you. God bless Santa Barbara. See you next week.